Hi, I'm Nicole Magelson, founder and CEO of Alpine Virtual, where we have saved business owners over 100,000 hours with virtual assistant support. So let's walk through a real scenario. A long-term team member was underperforming but loyal. So what would you do? Stick around for a practical framework to navigate this tough decision and keep your business moving forward. We're going to tackle some real-world challenges with clarity and compassion. As someone who has built Alpine Virtual from the ground up, I have seen how loyalty can really clash with performance and how leaders can get stuck. So today we're going to dive into a case where a team member who has been with you for 3 years might be holding your business back. We'll break down the emotional pull, the metrics to consider, and the hidden costs, and a step-by-step approach on how to handle it all with care. So let's get started. First, let's address the heart of all of this, emotional loyalty versus actual performance. So it's natural to feel attached to someone who's been with you for 3 years, shared memories, late nights, trust built over time. They have helped build your business, but loyalty alone is not going to drive results. A 2024 Gallup study found that 70% of employees who stay in underperforming roles, they are going to disengage and they're going to drag team morale down with them. At Alpine, we have learned that keeping someone out of guilt is going to stunt your growth, even if their heart's in the right place. So the question is, are they still delivering what your business needs today? And how are you going to decide that? Let's look at some key metrics: output, attitude, and adaptability. So we're going to start with their output. You're going to measure their tangible results against your goals. Are they hitting deadlines? Are they producing good quality work? Next, you want to assess their attitude. Are they bringing positivity or resistance to change? A 2025 Harvard Business Review report notices that a negative attitude is going to reduce team productivity by about 30%. And finally, you're going to want to think through adaptability. Are they able to evolve with your business's demands as you're growing and changing? So for an example, if your VA struggles with new tools despite training, that's a red flag. You're going to want to track this over weeks, not just on one bad day, but over a long period of time so that you can get a clear picture. Now, let's talk about costs. So keeping an underperforming team member longer than you needed to hits your bottom line pretty hard. A 2023 study by the Society for Human Resource Management estimates that replacing an employee costs 50 to 60% of their annual salary. But keeping a low performer is going to cost 10 to 15% more in lost productivity yearly. At Alpine, we have seen businesses lose clients or miss opportunities because resources were tied up in supporting someone who wasn't able to keep up. So the longer that you wait, the harder that it's going to be and the higher the price is going to be, both financially and emotionally, for you and for your team. If the metrics show that it's the time, then plan the conversation really carefully. Timing is going to matter. Don't delay once you've decided, but choose a calm moment, not mid-crisis, and you're going to want to start with honesty. So you're going to acknowledge their contributions, acknowledge how long they've been there, and then shift to specific performance areas that have lagged. Ask for their perspective. Sometimes they're unaware or maybe they're overwhelmed. Maybe something else is going on that you don't know about. A 2024 LinkedIn survey found that 60% of employees improve after direct, supportive talk. So keep it private, keep it firm, and keep it kind. The goal isn't to blame. The goal here is to get clarity for both of you. Then, if it's time to part ways, you're going to want to use a framework for compassionate offboarding. First, you're going to want to explain the decision with data, tie it to metrics, not personal flaws. You're going to want to offer support like a transition plan or references to ease their next step. A 2025 Indeed study shows that employees who leave with respect are 40% more likely to speak positively of your business. So set a clear end date, provide final paycheck and severance if possible, and then you're going to want to document everything that you can. At Alpine, we've guided clients through this, ensuring that it's dignified exit that protects your reputation and theirs. So here's a case from experience. A client came to us and they had a VA from outside of Alpine. It was someone else who had been with them for 3 years. And they were handling scheduling, emails, they were handling invoicing, they were in their bank account. Loyalty was so strong, but her output was just slowly getting worse and worse. She was making mistakes, she was misassigning meetings, and just wasn't doing well as she had in the past. So we talked to them. We found out she was also resisting change at the company. They had new tools that she just wouldn't use. And after tracking metrics for a month, the client had a candid talk with them, highlighting really specific issues. They offboarded her with a 2-week notice, with the reference, and she transitioned to a role that was a much better fit for her schedule and for her skills. The exit ended well, and they were able to add a VA to their team who was excited, who had really fresh ideas, and who fit well with their team. Loyalty, don't get me wrong, loyalty is so valuable, but it shouldn't outweigh performance when your business is at stake. So use these metrics and steps to assess fairly, to address it with care, give them a chance to improve, and offboard compassionately if needed. It's tough, but it's how you grow as a leader. So share in the comments, what would you do in this scenario? Would you fire the person? Thank you for watching.